Well, now it's confirmed. The Bears are in the market for edge rushers. Sports Talk Chicago, here with Jon Zaghloul. Appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more Chicago Bears content, also from content creators on this channel, on this network, like Clay Harbor, Joey Christopoulos, and Corey Wooten. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago and help out our sponsor, Amish Country Farms. This is not a drill, people. This is not a joke. This is not a prank. It comes from CBS Sports and really comes from the mouth of Matt Eberflus. Here's the headline. Bears head coach Matt Eberflus acknowledges team is still looking to add edge rushers prior to training camp. By the way, the Bears had only 20 sacks last year, last in the NFL. 24.4% pressure rate, dead last in the NFL. We've been talking about this for months, really. We've talked about it before the draft, after the draft, part of this free agency period, and now it comes up again. The Bears need edge rushers. It's no secret. It's pretty apparent that this team had a horrible pass rush last year. 20 sacks, 24.4% pressure rate, worst in football. The Bears have always been known for their defense. Now, Robert Quinn had 19.5 sacks just 2 years ago. He had 20 sacks last year as a whole team. What a joke. They need pass rushing help. Eberflus said that I think that is one position we're looking at and potentially we could get that done. He's referring to the edge rusher position. Couple of players who the Bears could be tied to. One of them who has really popped up in intense rumors the past week is Yannick Ngakoue. Started in the league in 2016. Listen to this list. Players with 8+ sacks in each of their first 7 seasons of their career. Yannick Ngakoue is on there, along with Aaron Donald, DeMarcus Ware, Derek Thomas, and Reggie White. 3 of those guys are in the Hall of Fame, and Aaron Donald is going to retire and be in the Hall of Fame. And Ngakoue is on that list, and he is available. So that's pretty exciting and somebody who the Bears should probably be targeting. Other players who are out there but are unfortunately a bit older include Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram, Carlos Dunlap, Jason Pierre-Paul, Jadeveon Clowney, and, Robert Quinn. Doubt there's going to be a reunion there. But he is available should Ryan Poles and company want to go down that route again. I doubt they'll give him the contract that Ryan Pace gave him, though. The point being, these are exciting comments to hear, and this is something that Bears fans have been clamoring for, and obviously this team has needed for more than just the past couple of months. It's been a need all season. It's been a need from 2022, even from this time last year in training camp and mini camp. Clearly. What boggles my mind is this, and I know the Bears were rebuilding last year. I know things weren't perfect, but this team has always been known for their defense, their pass rush, their ability to force takeaways. Think about 2006, 1985, all these great teams and all these great defenses. And now the Bears are worst in football and sacks and pressure percentage? That just sounds wrong. It doesn't make any sense. This team has lost its identity, partially. And again, I know they were rebuilding. I know they were tanking. They were losing on purpose. But whether they're going 6-11 or 13-4, this team has always been known year in and year out to have an amazing defense. It's always the offense that lets the Bears down. Even in years past, no quarterback, great defense, they suck. Too bad. I find it mind-boggling. I find it odd. I just find it plain wrong that this team had the worst pass rush in all of football last year. Kind of went under the radar. We were so worried about Justin Fields, so worried about no weaponry, so worried about this team tanking and the number 1 overall pick. We forgot, and I forgot, to mention these statistics or to look into this more throughout the season. This is a sad statistic. 20 sacks? That's it? Literally, in 2021, Robert Quinn matched that single-handedly. He was one away from what they did last year. It's horrible. Positive is, though, that there is a need, that it is identified and acknowledged by the front office, by the head coach and this Bears team. And it needs to be. My goodness. The other positive is, too, that there are other players available. Now, the Bears have made a couple of moves which is worth noting. Rasheem Green was signed by the Bears, a one-year, $2.5 million contract, 17 career sacks in 5 NFL seasons. They also added DeMarcus Walker, 6-year NFL vet, with 19.5 sacks in his career. But both of them are not necessarily edge rushers. They're defensive linemen, defensive ends. Not necessarily known for sacking the quarterback. There are guys out there, as I mentioned, especially in Ngakoue, who are just known for sacks, who are known to pressure and terrorize quarterbacks. So although those two signings are not horrible, they're not going to hurt the team necessarily, Green and Walker, Ngakoue or Clowney, even Melvin Ingram, those are names that would certainly help the Bears pass rush today, right now. And would propel them from being last, maybe mid-level, just by signing one or two of those players. It's possible. The favorite right now, in my opinion, is Ngakoue. He is younger, and he's done significant things in his first 7 years. I mean, I read you that list. Aaron Donald, DeMarcus Ware, Derek Thomas, Reggie White, Yannick Ngakoue. All those other guys, those 4 Hall of Famers. And Ngakoue quietly is on that list. If he's available, you throw the kitchen sink at him and get him now. You need it. You are in need. You're not in a position to negotiate. You're not in a position to play hardball. Make the move and help out your team, because this is one of the bigger gaps the Bears have left. And I've said this all offseason. I'm happy for Ryan Poles. I'm happy with what he's done. I really don't have much to criticize about the moves he's made this offseason. He set up Justin Fields for success. He's directly and indirectly invested in him. Made the big move for DJ Moore, traded the number 1 pick, parlayed that into a number of picks. Signed tons of players in free agency on both sides of the football. Spent significant amounts of money. The last thing the Bears need is edge rusher help. The one thing that the Bears have not improved upon, that is and was one of the worst things in football, is their pass rush. It's the last thing Ryan Poles needs to do. Here's your opportunity to do it. Here's your opportunity to have an A+ offseason. Right now it's like an A-, maybe flat A. This could make it A+. Bring in an edge rusher. Do what you need to do to improve every aspect of your team. Well-rounded team. Make this team go from worst in everything to now improved in everything. Not just one thing sticking behind and staying there. 20 sacks and 24.4% pressure rate is mediocre. It's atrocious. I wish it was mediocre. It's atrocious. And that also explains, and again, I know they were tanking, but this explains why so many teams ran up so many points in the Bears defense last year. When you cannot pressure the quarterback at all, when you cannot apply any sort of pressure and can barely even sack him, and he has 10 seconds to throw the football in the pocket, well, of course, your opponent's going to put up 30 points a game. Of course, your secondary is going to be tired out. Of course, more receivers are going to break free, find ways to get open, and go all the way for the touchdown. It's natural. When there's no pass rush, everybody suffers. This is the one thing that really hurt the Bears last year more than anything defensively. Now they have a chance to address it and prevent this from being a problem this year. And if the Bears could simply shore up their defense to the point where they're not giving up 30 points a game, but maybe 20, let's say, conservatively speaking, there would be a big improvement in the Bears' win-loss total. If the Bears even last year only give up 20 or even 22 points per game on average, they would have won more games, guaranteed. This year, with the offensive pieces you've brought in to bolster your offense, your scoring opportunities are going to go way up. Your points per game are going to go way up. You bring down the points you give up by actually pressuring quarterbacks, and just by pure logic, this team's going to win many more games than 3. This team's going to be in the wild card hunt. This team could be in the division race. So the positive is this could be a pretty simple shift, a simple signing, and it could turn into massive dividends for Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, and this Bears team. So it's encouraging to know that they see a need, that they're willing to publicly acknowledge it. Now the question is, what are you going to do to make it happen? You got some time here till training camp. Make it happen. Do something to bring in Yannick Ngakoue and company. And I say and company because there are other guys out there, although they're older, they bring them in on a 1 or 2 year deal. They can also help you. If there's money left to spend, which there is, salary cap wise, do that too. How about Ngakoue and Jadeveon Clowney? Ngakoue and Melvin Ingram. My goodness. What a pass rush for next year. Just with those two, let alone what the Bears have. This is exciting for the Bears. This is something that they should be targeting. And it's something that I think could get done, which is encouraging. Just think about how much better they're going to be if they just had a competent pass rush. If they were middle of the tier, if they go from 32nd to 17th and they're just a mid-level pass rush, and they give up 5 or 10 points less than last year on average, and their offense, as we know, has already improved. Just playing the numbers game. This Bears team could win 9 or 10 games based on that and that alone. And that's the last part of this team that they really have to improve they haven't really addressed yet. They've done so many good things this offseason. They've put so much money into their offense, so much money into their linebacking core. They drafted wisely. This is it. This is all they have to do. Ryan Poles, make the move. Thanks for watching today's show here on Sports Talk Chicago. Appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more Chicago Bears and Chicago sports content. Big thank you to John Meadows directing and producing. All of you for tuning in as well. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago and make sure you help out our sponsor, Amish Country Farms. So long, everyone.